saying things like me. I'm like, I would not stay on the show to make this little amount of money to have to deal with filming with people who I wouldn't even have a cup of coffee. I would go to Dunkin' Donuts with these bitches on a good day, let alone 5 hours a day for 5 months. Casting for Jersey is the worst. Casting sucks.
Well, like, if you look, like, for what you're saying, and also, like, okay, you look at Kathy Wakili, like, she was wronged by Teresa and Melissa. Jacqueline Laurita was wronged by both of them.
You have to understand why. Hold on.
But then why do people feel, and this is, I'm not coming for anyone, but why do people feel if you're wronged by both, you still feel a warmness more towards Teresa than Melissa?
Because Teresa's authentic. Teresa did not, listen to me. Jacqueline Laurita is the one housewife that her edit was so bad and raw. The production was so mad at her by the end of the season because she stood up for what is right. She stood up to production. She refused to film on certain days because she knew that they were editing her in a horrible light. Let me tell you something about Jacqueline Laurita. There is no one who cared more about the show than Jacqueline Laurita. There is no one who gave her heart and soul. Yes, it drove everybody, including me, crazy. I'm like, Jacqueline, why the fuck do you care so much? She's the cutest, the most unbelievable mother, the greatest friend. I got on the show. She wrote a letter about me to Bravo, and I'm like, Jacqueline, I love this letter. You write such nice things about me. Some of the things in here, not that true, but hold up. I love you. Jacqueline cared so much. People were in Kathy's ear. People were in Rosie's ear, trying to build the destruction between Teresa, Kathy. It didn't have to be the way. It was not coming from David. It was not coming from Teresa. I was like, guys, Teresa doesn't have it in her. She just came out of jail. Can't we just all try to get along? But when you have people whispering in your ear, she said this about you. Listen to me. There were a lot of people on that show when you're not dealing with smart people. The people who are just a little bit smarter, not that smart, because you can't be smart and do Housewives. That's saying a lot about me. I could tell you I'm the smartest girl in the room. I still signed up to do the show. How smart can I be? What normal girl goes out to expose herself and make an ass out of herself and sit there and that's all I ever wanted? I mean, come on, at the end, but Teresa, people find Teresa endearing because she will not come out anybody. She will not come at you unless you come at her. I've witnessed it firsthand. I'm allowed to talk about it. I'm a former housewife. I am letting you know. I was prepped to hate Teresa. She wanted me to hate her. I met with her for the first time when we were discussing Dolores' birthday party. And I'm like, how could you hate this girl? I mean, she's just like, I like your shirt. Your lips are so nice. Oh, what kind of lipstick do you use? I'm like, Teresa, we're trying to film a scene right here. You're adorable. She's like, oh my God. She's a girl's girl and I'm a girl's girl. We could just hang out. We're laughing. Every time I said anything, she'd like, Siggy, you're so funny. All she wants to do is be around people who make her laugh. She loves people who make her laugh. And me and Dolores would have her on the floor. We would be cracking on her. We just had a chemistry. You can't deny the chemistry was there. You could try to fake it because all the housewives have chemistry. They get this memo. They're not allowed to talk about it now, David. So if you need any of the housewives on your show, good luck. They're all being fined $30,000, $23,000. They're all being fined. They're all having gag orders. They're not allowed to talk.
It's a waste to talk to her. Yeah.
You know who should be on gag order? Production should be on the gag order.
Production on a gag order, according to Siggy. What about Jen Aiden? Do you think that's a real friendship with Teresa? You know, do you think she's a good housewife? Do you think they're really true friends?
I don't know Jen Aiden, but I would have to say yes. I met Jen Aiden once at Serena's opening of her beautiful store. And I looked at Jen Aiden and I was like, whoa, Serena, your friend is off the rocker. She's so funny. She is authentic, but in my opinion, they are very, very good friends. They enjoy each other's company, and that is not a phony friendship.
What about the others like Margaret, Melissa? Like they're always out to dinner together.
But we all had to go out to dinner and say, look, we're hanging out. We're such friends. Meanwhile, have you ever heard of a housewife that left the series that hangs out with any of the other housewives? And you only have in a housewife franchise 3 icons. Teresa, this is my opinion. I don't want anybody to get mad at me. 3 icons: Teresa Giudice, Bethany Frankel, and Lisa Vanderpump. That's it. People who are so business savvy that they'll make money without the series. Everybody else has to stay on the series because they really don't have a business that's that successful. Because of who she is, she will get a cooking show. She has that it factor to be an entertainer. So you know what? I just think that her and her girls are so authentic and they're just amazing, and they're interesting. The whole family is interesting. So
what was happening when producers wanted you, like you said, to be against Teresa. So when you filmed this first scene with Dolores and you're falling in love with this and she's asking about your lips, like as the season went on, like what was producers like, Siggy, this is not the plan? Like were they mad at you?
Producers would say you're not being loyal to Jacqueline, Siggy, because Jacqueline was having issues with Teresa only because people were whispering in Jacqueline's ears about Teresa. And I said to Jacqueline, I can't go there with Teresa because unless you want me to be phony, because my personal relationship, my experience with Teresa Giudice has been nothing but love and laughter. And David, I don't need to say this at this point. I could say anything I want at this point. And then after I leave here, Michael and I are going to visit our cousin Vinny. Not because my cousin Vinny. But what I'm trying to say is I don't need to say this. I'm letting you know. And I used to say, Jonathan, please don't listen to the people who are whispering in your ear. And I have to tell you something that no one knows, that when I first started filming Housewives, me, Dolores, Teresa, Dolores was with David Principe. I set her up with him, and we all went to a restaurant in Brooklyn, a beautiful restaurant. I forget, it's a famous restaurant where everybody knew the chef of the restaurant. And we walk in, and Melissa and Joe Gorga were having dinner with the head honcho producer. I never had dinner with the producer. Nobody knows this. But then all of a sudden, Michael looks at me and he goes, I said, that's the head producer that they're having dinner with and they're so cheesy with. Bam, drop the mic. My first, and I said, wow. Second time I saw producers having dinner was right in my town in Englewood, New Jersey, Margaret Josephs, hanging out at her house, BFF with a certain producer or 2. I know 2 producers, but listen.
I know one, yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you think, because a lot of people just on this current reunion even say this, that Melissa and Joe, Andy doesn't ask them the hard-hitting questions or they get edited out. Do you think Melissa has gotten a favorable edit? Because like you said, you see her having, dinner with the top producer. 100.
Does Melissa get a favorable edit? I believe the answer to that would be yes. Now, having said that, I don't have any issues with Joe and Melissa. I never did. It's like non-existent. Nothing she did.